Arshia Sattar est une écrivaine et traductrice indienne née à Mumbai. Ses deux langues d'écriture sont l'anglais et le hindi. Arshia est une éminente spécialiste de la littérature et de la mythologie indienne. Elle est titulaire d'un doctorat en langues et civilisations sud-asiatiques de l'Université de Chicago et est traductrice du sanskrit. Dans sa carrière de traductrice, Arshia Sattar s'est penchée sur les grands chefs-d'œuvre de la littérature indienne, le Ramayana, le Mahabharata et les contes du Katara Titsagara. Ces traductions des grands textes épiques sanskrits ont été acclamées par la critique et sont publiées dans des versions abrégées par Penguin Books sous les titres Tales from the Katara and Ramayana or Valmiki. Elle a également écrit plusieurs livres pour enfants, dont The Mahabharata for Children, qui a reçu le Sahitya Akademi Prize for Children's Literature 2022. Elle a enseigné la littérature indienne classique dans plusieurs institutions prestigieuses et universités en Inde. En 2008, elle a cofondé avec D.W. Gibson la résidence littéraire Sangam House. Cette résidence, ouverte dans un premier temps à Pondichéry, est aujourd'hui basée à Bangalore. Arshia a écrit également de nombreux essais sur la littérature indienne et est régulièrement sollicitée pour son expertise en la matière par des revues et magazines spécialisés. Je terminerai en disant qu'en 2023, elle a été décorée par l'ambassade de France en Inde du titre de chevalier dans l'ordre des arts et des lettres. Arshia.
Thank you, Sophie. Salam, namaste, bonsoir, good evening. I'm going to read from the Ramayana. So the Ramayana is a very old story. It's a classic. It's written in Sanskrit, which was even at the time the sacred language of India. The earliest parts of the Ramayana, it was put together over many, many centuries. The earliest parts of the Ramayana were composed as early as 300 before the Christian era, and we believe that the text kind of closed at about 300 of the Christian era. So it's a story about a handsome, virtuous prince whose stepmother has him exiled into the forest the day before he's going to be crowned king. He goes into the forest with his, of course, beautiful princess wife, Sita, and his devoted brother, Lakshmana. And while they're in the forest, Sita is abducted by a demon king, a Rakshasa king. And Rama has to make an alliance with magical monkeys who help him kill the bad guy, the Rakshasa, and get his wife back. So the hero of the story, the prince, his name is Rama, his wife is Sita, the demon king, the Rakshasa, his name is Ravana. And I'm going to read 3 bits from the story. One is the moment where Sita gets kidnapped. The second is a very, very brief segment about Rama coming back to find his wife missing and the depth of his grief. And then I'm going to read from the end of the book, which is when he is reunited with Sita. Yesterday, I got the news that a very beloved teacher of mine had died, so I would like to dedicate this reading to him. His name is C.M. Naeem, and he made it possible for me to do the PhD that I wanted to do. And this book is the result of that PhD. So this reading is for Naeem. Here we go. So Ravana is the demon. Ravana, king of the Rakshasas, pounced on Sita as she wept, her clothes crumpled and her ornaments in disarray. Let go, he shouted, as she clung to the trees like a climbing vine and rolled on the ground. Rama, Rama, she wailed in that empty forest as the Rakshasa, who looked like death, pulled her by the hair and called his own death upon his head. Ravana dragged her into the sky as she cried out to Rama and Lakshmana. With her glowing golden skin and her clothes of yellow silk, the princess looked like a bolt of lightning from Mount Sudama. As her yellow garments fluttered in the wind and the red lotuses from her garland scattered over him, Ravana's face blazed like a mountain on fire. Golden Sita, held tight against Ravana's black body, was like a golden belt around an enormous black elephant. Sita's flowers fell from her body as she was being dragged away, and they showered on the earth like rain. They seemed to follow Ravana like a train, pulled along by the speed of his flight. The flowers followed him like the garland of stars which follows Mount Meru. As Ravana carried her further into the sky, Sita shone with her own splendor like a comet. Her necklace of sparkling pearls slipped between her breasts and fell to the earth like Ganga descending from the sky. The speed of their flight disturbed the treetops. The birds nesting there seemed to call out to Sita not to be afraid. The lotus pools, filled with drooping flowers and agitated fish, seemed to mourn as if for a lost friend. Lions and tigers and other forest animals gathered from all over and ran behind Sita, following her shadow on the ground. Even the mountains seemed to weep, their waterfalls like tears, their peaks like outstretched arms. The sun turned pale and dimmed his luster as Sita was being carried off. So he takes her away, and Rama and Lakshmana, his brother, who had left her alone because they had gone chasing a golden deer. Of course, the deer is an illusion, and when they come back, the little settlement in which they used to live is empty. Rama looked all over the settlement. Without Sita, the trees there seemed to weep, the birds and animals appeared downcast. It was as if the forest deities had abandoned the area. Deer skins and reed mats had been scattered, and kusha grass lay everywhere. Rama called out to Sita again and again, "She has been abducted, she is dead, she has been eaten." Or perhaps the poor frightened thing went and hid in the forest. Maybe she went out to collect roots and fruit, or to the lotus pond, or to the river. But though he searched high and low, Rama could not find his beloved in the forest. His eyes red from weeping, he seemed like a madman as he ran from tree to tree, from the mountains to the river, weeping more and more as he plunged deeper and deeper into an ocean of grief. "O Kadamba tree, have you seen my beloved who loved your fruit? Tell me if you know where that lovely woman is. Bilva tree, where is she, this woman whose breasts are like your fruit, who's as delicate as your new shoots in her yellow silk? O palm tree, take pity on me and tell me if you have seen that beautiful woman. Rose apple tree, my beloved's complexion has the hues of your fruit. You must have seen her. Tell me where she is. Little dear, you must know where the doe-eyed Sita is. Is she with you in the forest? O best of elephants, Sita had thighs like your trunk. You must know where she is." And then he speaks to his brother, "O Lakshmana, have you seen my beloved anywhere? O Sita, my darling Sita, where have you gone?" he cried over and over again. Rama called out as he ran hither and thither in the forest. He leapt and jumped and spun around as if he were crazy. He could not stand still for a moment, so he ran through the forest, over the mountains and down to the streams and rivers. But though he searched every corner of that forest, he found no trace of his beloved. Still, he would not give up and renewed his efforts to find her. Sita has been taken prisoner by Ravana. He keeps her on his island of, he has an island fortress. She's in captivity, and Rama has to cross the ocean, find his wife, and kill Ravan. And this he does with the help of some magical monkeys. Sadly, I don't have time to share the wonders of the monkeys with you, but of course you will read this book. It's only 600 pages. Yeah. So, the war is over. Sita is brought out from where she has been prisoner. She's on the battlefield. It's a very, very public place. She's surrounded by the Rakshasas, the demons, and the monkeys. And this woman who hasn't seen her husband for months, perhaps years, she was expecting a reunion in private, but what she gets is this very public meeting. Rama looked... Sorry. Rama looked at Sita standing meekly by his side, and he gave vent to the anger in his heart. I have killed the enemy, my dear, and I have won you back. In doing so, I have displayed the courage expected of me. I have avenged the insult, and it no longer bothers me. I have destroyed the enemy and the disgrace together. I have displayed my prowess, and I have achieved my goals. I have kept my promises. Now I am free. You were carried off by a restless Rakshasa while you were alone with no one to protect you. I, a mere mortal, have redressed that wrong decreed by fate. I have done my duty by rescuing you from the enemy and by avenging the insult to myself. You should know that this war, which was won by the heroic efforts of my friends, was not fought for your sake. I did it to vindicate my honor and to save my noble family from disgrace. I have terrible suspicions about your character and conduct. The sight of you is as painful to me as a lamp to a man with diseased eyes. You are free to go where you want. The world is open to you. I have no more use for you, Sita. How can a man born into a noble family lovingly take back a woman who has lived in the house of a strange man? I am proud of my noble lineage. How can I take you back when Ravana has touched you and when you have lived under his lustful gaze? I have regained my reputation. That was my sole motivation for rescuing you. I do not want you anymore, Sita. You can go where you like. Sita could not believe the cruel words her husband had spoken after their long separation. She seemed to shrink into herself, weeping at the arrow-sharp words that had pierced her heart. She wiped the tears that streamed down her face, and she said, choking, "How could you say such things to me? The kind of things a low, common man would say to his woman. I'm not what you think I am, hero. I swear this on my virtue. If my body was touched by another man, it was not because I wanted it. Destiny must bear the responsibility for that. My heart, the only thing I could control, was always with you. What could I do about the other parts of my body that were subject to the will of others? What hope can there be if you do not know me even now, after we have lived together intimately for so many years? You have surrendered to your anger and acted like a common man, and you have treated me like a low and vulgar woman. You have not considered that I am the daughter of Janaka, that I was born from the earth. Nor did you consider the fact that my conduct has always been impeccable. The fact that we are married and that I am devoted to you is of no consequence to you at all." Weeping, Sita turned to Lakshmana, who stood there silent and miserable. "Build a funeral pyre for me, Lakshmana. That is the only solution I see to this terrible calamity that has befallen me. I cannot bear to live under these false accusations. Despite my virtue, my husband has rejected me in front of all these people. He holds the past against me, and I cannot vindicate myself in his eyes. The only thing I can do now is to walk into the fire.